The book of Ruth is a beautiful and heartwarming story in the Old Testament, often read during the Jewish festival of Shavuot. It's a tale of loyalty, kindness, and God's providence, showing how ordinary people can play a significant role in God's grand plan. Here are the key events and characters in the story of Ruth. Main characters. Naomi, an Israelite woman from Bethlehem who, with her husband Elimelech and 2 sons, moves to Moab to escape a famine. She experiences immense loss, losing her husband and both sons, which leads her to feel bitter and ask to be called Mara, meaning bitter. Ruth, a Moabite woman, daughter-in-law of Naomi. She demonstrates extraordinary loyalty and devotion to Naomi, choosing to leave her homeland and people to stay with her mother-in-law. He is a kind and honorable man who notices Ruth's loyalty and diligence. Key story points. Tragedy in Moab. Naomi, Elimelech, and their 2 sons, Mahlon and Chilion, move to Moab due to a famine in Bethlehem. Elimelech dies, and later both Mahlon and Chilion also die, leaving Naomi a widow with 2 Moabite daughters-in-law, Ruth and Orpah. Ruth's loyalty. Naomi decides to return to Bethlehem, her hometown, after hearing that the famine has ended. She encourages her daughters-in-law to return to their own families. Orpah tearfully returns to Moab, but Ruth famously declares her unwavering loyalty to Naomi. "Do not urge me to leave you or to return from following you. For where you go I will go, and where you lodge I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God my God. Where you die I will die, and there will I be buried. May the Lord do so to me, and more also, if anything but death parts me from you." Ruth 1:16-17. Gleaning in Boaz's field. Upon arriving in Bethlehem, Ruth, to provide for herself and Naomi, goes to glean in the fields, a practice allowed by Israelite law for the poor and foreigners. By chance, she ends up in the field of Boaz, a relative of Elimelech. Boaz's kindness. Boaz notices Ruth, and having heard of her faithfulness to Naomi, shows her exceptional kindness. He instructs his workers to leave extra grain for her, and ensures her safety and well-being. Naomi's plan. Naomi, seeing Boaz's favor towards Ruth, devises a plan based on the custom of the kinsman redeemer, a relative who could redeem family property and marry a childless widow to raise an heir for the deceased husband. She instructs Ruth to go to the threshing floor where Boaz is sleeping and lie at his feet, signaling her desire for him to act as a kinsman redeemer. He discovers there is a closer relative who has the first right of redemption. Boaz publicly approaches this relative at the city gate, and when the relative declines the responsibility, Boaz formally redeems the land and takes Ruth as his wife. A son and a legacy. Ruth and Boaz marry, and the Lord enables her to conceive and give birth to a son named Obed. The women of Bethlehem celebrate, recognizing that Naomi's fortunes have been reversed. Obed becomes the father of Jesse, who is the father of King David. This lineage is significant as it places Ruth, a Moabite woman, in the direct ancestry of King David and ultimately of Jesus Christ. The book of Ruth beautifully illustrates themes about loyalty and devotion, hesed. Ruth's unwavering commitment to Naomi. Kindness and generosity, shown by Boaz towards Ruth and Naomi. Redemption. Boaz acting as the kinsman redeemer to restore Naomi's family line and property. God's providence. How God works through seemingly ordinary circumstances and faithful individuals to fulfill his purposes. Inclusion. The story highlights that God's plan extends beyond the boundaries of Israel, embracing even a foreign woman like Ruth into the lineage of his chosen king.